We'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. We're here with Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence from the state of Michigan. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. How does it feel to be here for Juneteenth?
Well, it's exciting. This holiday is new, but what better way for Black America to stop and pause and remember from whence we came. To remember there was a time the freedoms and rights we had were not ours. And this goes into the Biden administration. When they enslaved us, remember they did some very direct, specific things. They denied us education, they denied us jobs, and they destroyed our family. And they did that to weaken us as a people. We celebrate Juneteenth, and we celebrate how education is something that our forefathers fought for, and that we can walk into educational institutions and receive the foundation and the tools to be successful. This administration has some of the best employment records that we've seen in decades. And so getting a job so we can build personal wealth, generational wealth for our families. And then we talk about our health. Black people in America, we struggle so much with health. We look at diabetes, which is just crippling our community. Lowering the cost of insulin so that we can live. Looking at fighting for the Affordable Health Care Act that will give a person who may not have the resources to pay for medical care so that we can be healthy and be able to fight for our children and for our families.
I have to ask you, with the Vice President Kamala Harris and with your love and passion for education, business, economic development, how are our Black women doing across the country, politically, business-wise? Are we making progress in that area?
So one of the things I want Black women to really take note to, when I served in Congress, I was the chair of the Women's Caucus for Congress, and also co-chair of the Democratic Women. Black women carried the majority of student debt. Black women. And for the President of the United States to enact a student debt relief program has a direct impact on us as Black women. When we talk about affordable health care, when the President stood up against so much backlash about child care credits, those are things that has a direct impact on us as Black women, and we need to pay attention to that, because this vote we're going to take is not about what he has done for us. We have to keep track of that. But we're voting for someone who's going to sit in that seat and take care of us for the future. Prepare us give us the resources so that we can prepare ourselves to be generationally intentional of taking care of our children, building wealth, and educating the next generation.
Gaza Strip, how are we going to deal with that? Are we going to survive?
This war between the Palestinians and Israel has been going on way before my time and generations. However, the President of these United States has stood up and took all the beating and used his political platform to say, return the hostages and stop killing innocent Gaza Palestinian people. Hamas, the terrorist group, is responsible for this, and we want the hostages back home. We want the killing and the fighting to stop.
Africa. Do we see enough African-American economic cooperation? Africa is the breadbasket of the world. China's moving up in there.
Yes, they are.
Do we as African-Americans have a role to play in the rejuvenation, the resurrection, the further empowerment of Africa?
Absolutely. And if America doesn't stand up, as you said, China is on a mission. And I just recently was at the state dinner for the president of Kenya, who came to town. And the respect that was shown to him and the commitment from this administration is being repeated all around Africa. I, as a member of Congress, travel to Africa on goodwill missions consistently. And so this is something in the Black Caucus, you have to give them credit. They do not allow this administration to put it on the back burner. they constantly push the responsibility, the opportunities, and the competition that we're in, and having those partnerships of trade with Africa.
Are you proud of this next generation of black congresswomen?
You know, every generation defines themselves. You know, we're in a totally different environment. Social media, we are in an environment where
Did you ever have to deal with somebody talking about what you look like, your eyelashes or something like that?
You know, I'm a little black girl from the east side of Detroit. I would not take kindly to that. However, I'm also the little black girl from the east side of Detroit who's strong, who's powerful, who know who I am, and will stand up against any disrespect that happens. And so every generation get their call to action. And I can tell you that the Black Caucus is a force to be reckoned with.
Any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, when you hear all the mistruths and all of the misinformation, come election day, it's about who's going to take care of me, who's going to take care of my family, who's going to provide a United States of these America that my children and generations after will be able to thrive. And as an African American, as a black woman, I want someone in that seat that see me, that will work for me, and that will respect my issues when they're making policy.
Congresswoman, we're so proud of you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank
you for your service.
Thank
you for caring. Thank you for giving back, especially to our little girls. I promise I've learned some lessons today. I will take them back home with me.
You're very welcome.
Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.